So the basic understanding of the project itself is something that we have outlined over here. We understand that the project has basically three objectives. No, seriously, it feels so weird to give an online presentation because people, first of all, they do not have their cameras on and they have all muted themselves. So you don't know who you are talking to. It's like just standing behind a screen. This feels so weird because nobody acknowledges whatever you are saying. Hey, what are you capturing?
I will continue to expose these Pungi news channels. Yes. ಚಾಟಿ ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೊಡಿಬೇಕು ಹಿಂದ್ಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಈ ತರ ತಲೆ ಬುಡ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಟಿವಿ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ಗಳನ್ನ ಮಾತಲ್ಲೇ ಬುಡ ಬಿಸಿ ಮಾಡೋ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನೆಲ್ ಅಂದು
ಸಿಕ್ಕವರಿಗೆ ಸೀರುಂಡೆ ಬಾಚ್ಕೊಂಡಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕಾಸು. ಮೋದಿ ಬಳಿ ಸೂಪರ್ ಐಡಿಯಾ. ಏನಿದು ಹೆಲಿಕಾಪ್ಟರ್ ಮನಿ ಪ್ಲಾನ್?
ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಉಚ್ಚಲ್ ಮೀನ್ ಹಿಡಿಯೋದಂದ್ರೆ ಇದೆ. ಹೇಳಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ, ಸೀದಾ ನ್ಯೂಸ್ ನ ತಯಾರಿಸೇ ಬಿಡೋದು.
See, what I don't understand is these news reporters, they need to understand that their job is to report the news and not make just, past judgments about people. That's what has been happening in terms of the Sandalwood, drug case, like drug queens and all sort of weird names have been given to them, which is not only disparaging to them, they can have, a lot of mental effects for them as well. I mean, these people are in no position to make those kind of judgment because, the trial is supposed to be held in the court. Not with these guys. Same thing with Riya Chakraborty. I mean, I'm sure that she's somewhere involved or something of this sort. But then again, you can talk about it, but not just give names and, make a trial around it and do all this stuff. So I think news reporters, they should just, bloody understand what sort of things that they are doing. And they got to be a lot more responsible for the kind of work that they are doing. Instead of just... Especially everything went online, especially after the coronavirus period. I think people have just gotten too crazy about things. Everything has gone online, so they're just blasting the news like crazily. Hell with them.
You are right.
ಹೆಲಿಕಾಪ್ಟರ್ ನಿಂದ ಪ್ರತಿ ಊರಿಗೂ
Baby, it was okay. The presentation. Mom just hasn't been very happy with the cleaning that has been happening in the house. Anyway, she has a holiday today for some government. Something is happening. Yeah, Moasya. So I didn't even know that. And finally she's home and she's feeding me today. I also woke up kind of late. Hi, Anna. Hi. So I've been trying to watch First Man for a while now, and Armstrong has been waiting to set his foot on the moon, and I'm just not allowing him to. Every time he wants to do that, I'm just pausing the movie, and some or the other thing is just coming up. Like for now, I just have more like a personal meeting with a friend of my brother who just wants to start a company, some particular product, I believe. So that way, I'm just always stuck watching it. I haven't completed it. I think I've... So we had a pretty long chat and Vishnuth here is working on one of his projects and he just wanted to have a discussion. So this is Vishnuth.
Hi.
ನೀನು ನೋಡ್ತಾನೆ ಇರ್ತಲ್ತಾನೆ ಅವಳು
ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಅಟ್ಟಾಡ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿತ್ತು.
ಭರತ್ ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಡು. ಬಾಯ್ ಬಾಯ್. ಹಾಂ, ಏನು ಭರತ್? ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಲಾಜಿಕಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತಾ ನಿಂಗೆ? Mom is looking for a cloth for me so that I can wear it around my ankles, and when I wear my ankle weights, it shouldn't start slipping off my skin again. Today afternoon, before I went for my nap, Bharat asked me a question. And the question is, when do you rest when you have a busy schedule? And the answer for that is that whenever you work quite significantly, you also take a bit of rest. You do not wait until the entirety of the work is over, but you keep resting periodically. It is like asking, if you're going to sprint, when do I rest? You basically make it as laps, right? And even when we go to the gym, how do we work out? Whenever we do a set, we start resting. The same thing for our brains. Whenever we are working hard, our brain is putting in all the effort. It aches. This is where the Pomodoro comes in very handy. I might have spoken about Pomodoro before, but let me explain it once again, just in any case. Imagine this is a 25-hour block, and this would be the 5-minute break. You do this 4 times, and then you have finished one Pomodoro cycle. And once you have finished one Pomodoro cycle, you get a huge break, which is for 15 minutes. And this way, you can do up to 5 Pomodoro cycles in a given day without feeling tired. You see, I have been very fortunate to have a lot of very hardworking people around me, people who toil every single day, especially my parents. My mom has worked for more than 30 years, and my dad as well. My dad actually has gotten more than 10 promotions. He just started out from the very basic, and he has grown up the charts in his company, and he happens to be the only person to have gotten those many promotions. Same thing with my friends as well. And now my brother also works really hard. I've had this opportunity to be around people who work super hard, who toil every single day. And they have done this for a consistent period of time. But there is one special thing about me. I've also been fortunate enough to choose the career path that I really love. I've been doing things that I really love. It could be the company that I'm part of, it could be the vlogging that I'm doing, and several other things. I've always done things that I've really enjoyed. And to do that, you have to be a little bit stubborn. Not little bit, actually, a lot stubborn. So, winding back to the original question as to when to rest, especially when there's a huge work schedule, I would say you have to keep intermittently resting. Not only about Pomodoro, but whenever I'm creatively working, especially when I'm working for the company, I'm involved in product designing, I'm involved in product engineering, and I keep talking to people. There's a lot of client calls, everything I do. But I limit them, I squeeze them all together into a single block of work. And after that work, what I do is I shift my mind to vlogging, let's say. And next, after vlogging for a while, I'm going to shift my concentration again to writing or reading. I keep making these shifts. This not only allows my brain to creatively think about different things, but also gives the kind of space and rest my brain needs. So whenever there's a lot of work happening, do not keep constantly pushing yourself in the same line of work, because it is actually counterproductive. It's going to slow down your mind and you'll not be able to think faster. Your efficiency drops down. So instead, take a break, take a Pomodoro break. I mean, maybe go on a walk, maybe drink some water, maybe get some workout in. That should give the intermittent rest that your brain requires, especially when you're doing a lot of focused work. And that way, I think the productivity rises and you'll be happy as well. You'll get into the flow. I've been telling my story this whole time, and this guy hasn't recorded anything, and he's a photographer, for Christ's sake. And he hasn't recorded whatever I've been saying for what past like 15 minutes.
ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ